at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on CNN. I mean, how the hell do we compete?
Well, the reason why you're not competing is because you put your message out there and people don't agree with it. That's the problem. The reason why Elon Musk and Trump are popular on social media is because people want to watch them and they think they're entertaining. That's really the reason. It's bad ideas, not entertaining. And so, like, if you want to get more people watching you, you want to get aggressive in the podcast world, you have to start coming up with better ideas that people agree with. And if you do that, you're going to have people watch you. It's just really just that simple.
We're toast.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
And part of it, and credit to you for doing long-form podcasting, because long-form podcasting does penetrate different audiences,
it does.
Right? And our show does very well. But part of the problem of the Democrat Party, that for the health of the country would be great to change, is that Democrats cannot survive in long-form podcasting environments.
Why?
It's too unscripted. It's too masculine, honestly. And the Democrat Party's
He's just coming out and saying it.
What is masculine about a podcast? Honestly, because I get the whole manosphere, this bro podcast
to go
stuff.
into the wilderness with no rules and duel it out and see who's better or who's stronger. No, seriously. I mean, like, what?
The thing is that he's not entirely wrong. He's not.
Democrats can.
What? No, I mean,
Yeah.
We don't do it.
No, but
You're right. We, for whatever reason, don't do it.
You can laugh, but
It's not that they don't do it, they can't do it. Because a lot of these ideas that they have don't survive scrutiny. And that's the reason why social media has trended this way. And as soon as social media stopped being censored, everybody started thinking another way. It's because the ideas are bad.
like, who in the Democrat Party?
We're not. You're right.
Will go. I mean, maybe Bernie Sanders, but he only worked for like an hour
RFK
and a
when
half.
he was a Democrat.
Bobby was
Well,
not.
fuck. I mean, Bernie Sanders, 83, 84 years old, right? But Bernie Sanders will do it because, again, the reason why Bernie Sanders will do it is because his ideas resonate with a big audience. They do. Like, what you might not agree with them, but you have to acknowledge that a lot of people do. They hold up. Yeah, exactly.
HHS,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah.
there's something to be said that if you want to earn the respect of Forgotten America, you have to show them that you can intellectually joust with no script, no hard breaks, no producers in the ears,
Love
no
that.
teleprompters.
Love it.
That's where the media is going. Now, I will only challenge one thing you say. I am reaching new audiences. I'm not talking my bubble, because our content is so appealing.
Which
it
hero
goes
do
in
you
a
think you wanna be
decentralized
today?
way.
And it's not just political.
Well, the reason why you reach new audiences is that you also have rage bait of
Be
people
wary.
that watch this guy
No
because they fucking
timeline
hate him. So
exists
you're
where
always going to have.
Magneto
It's like all
yields.
these podcasts. Like, how many podcasts are there where the podcast
Okay.
format is
Which heroes
3
will get my
guys,
cosmic
7
favor today?
drunk hoes talking about why women are stupid? There's like 4. There's like 4 or 5 of these.
No, it's
mean,
not
it's
political,
cultural.
but like, again, our conversation here is going to go far and wide, right? A lot of people are going to see it, a lot of people are going to consume it, because it's also politics and entertainment have begun to overlap, right? And the old adage is, well, politics is downstream from culture. I think politics and culture are indecipherable from one another.
Pick your
Donald Trump
hero.
became a
Or
cultural
villain.
phenomenon,
I'm not
right?
judging.
He's right. Yeah, he's right about all this. He's
huh?
absolutely right.
You go into inner city Compton, you'll see guys with Trump shirts with the hand up, fight, fight, fight.
Yeah.
So what Democrats are doing is you're still playing in a very old, hyper sanitized media environment. And my advice is you got to go where it's unpredictable, where it's treacherous, where it's dangerous. Now, I would make a more provocative argument that you wouldn't necessarily resonate with, which is that you guys have not built the intellectual muscle over 30 years because you all agree with each other all the time.
We're not like conservatives are massively
You
disagree.
can count on me. I got a plan.
Completely collapsed the
I
conservative
would push back a little bit.
I think Gavin's right. I think he did collapse
30
it, and
seconds
it
before
deserved
you
to be
attack.
collapsed
Get
because it
ready.
didn't represent average people.
I would disagree. We have
From what I hear about this,
Congress is really doing great oversight.
I don't
of
think
Trump
I'm gonna
right now.
like him
They're
very
just-
much.
They're holding him to account.
He did? No, but people think it's an L take. Like, I mean, think about, like, he deleted the entire, like, Bush family from politics. I think that's a pretty big fucking deal. Like, they were, like, fucking a cornerstone
battle
of
starts in
Republican
5,
conservative
4,
politics for, like, 20,
3,
30 years.
2,
He absolutely
1.
did. And Romney, yeah.
All
Where's
you need to
Romney?
do is
All of
capture the
those
mission
guys from
area.
back in the day
Got it?
are gone. They're done. And Cheney, yep, done.
It's an important but separate issue. I just want to finish the point when we could talk about Congress, which is that in the Republican Party, we have immense and vocal and public
is a nice
space.
spot.
I think you would agree.
Just what we need.
fight
The H1B visa.
fucking
is a
hurt.
great example.
Look at Ukraine, right? We're talking about
Ukraine's another good example. Yeah.
primary challenges.
You're ready for
Democrat Party would never do that. Now, I think that's because you can't
Reclamation area is yours to capture now.
And especially with the identity
From the brink,
because
baby.
as soon as you begin questioning the narrative, you become an enemy. Like J.K. Rowling.
the system of the underlying issue of we are constantly trying to find the approximation of what truth is. We're trying to use dialogue or hey, who's right, what do you believe, why do you believe, and it's by no coincidence that out of the long-term genres, the top 10, 8 of them are conservative senators. Rogan, Megyn Kelly, Theo Vaughn, The Paul Show, our program, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh. There's a singular one on the left of Deposit Save America, which is just like a bunch of Obama girls agreeing with each other through.
Just what we need. Primarily outside of Fox by Western voices. That's the reason why. And it doesn't represent the people. And I think that Fox also doesn't represent people in a lot of ways, but they don't represent people. And so that's really what the difference is. I don't know about me. I'm not podcast. I thought about doing my own podcast where I just like interview people like this. I don't know if I would really do maybe if I did it a lot, I would maybe have like a series for it. But other than that, I have no idea.
Enjoy the amplifier. Welcome.
But yeah, top 3 watch. Well, a lot of people watch the show. A lot of people watch the
amplifier.
But yeah, the reason why a lot of these right-wing podcasts are popular is because the left-wing policies aren't. That's the reason why that we're not very obvious. You know? And so,
this is real firepower.
You're ready for action. I mean, what is the problem? So
this is real firepower.
Is dominated by this group of people. So if this group of people is dominating every apparatus of discourse, then what does that mean?
Someone scratch my back.
We're
You're ready for action.
In college campuses does not foster debate. It just doesn't. It's about silencing the critics and the elevation of
Submission area!
so you do not have to
I think it's definitely in professional spaces too. Populist always wins. I don't think that it's necessarily a populist policy to not want illegal immigrants. This is a common sense position. Or a populist policy to not want things like trans and like
This is real firepower.
these are pejorative terms which are used.
I'll patch you up. I'll patch you up.
Yeah, it's just common sense. Yeah, that's not what's going on here.
robust having to defend your position. It's very monolithic, very centralized, very top-down, quasi-authoritarian. And then citizens, I would just say that the philosophy that you guys have adopted is that Dow wishes a president to get the most points. You guys don't have Dow that has the best idea with it.
You're ready
And
for
because of that, you guys have an elevation of, like, hey, we're
Control
going to small
feed.
subset from the military capturing hall monitor assistant principal
That's
vibe of
right.
people.
That's exactly it. People don't want to be regulated by hall monitors. He's completely right.
People telling you that you're not allowed to say these words.
Right-wing media and podcast Republican-leaning has much more money backing it. Why does it have a lot? You're very close. Why does it have a lot?
This is real firepower. Enjoy the amplifier, baby.
It's more popular.
Don't mind me. These guys are a bunch of scientists. Follow the enemy. You're welcome.
I think that's not like kind of backing. The rich going back to left if they want to take some more.
This is real firepower.
That's the reason.
You can't say that. We call that political correctness, which in and of itself is hyper-authoritarian. But you seek to understand why young men are rebelling.
You're
It's like,
follow the
no,
enemy.
you can't go along with this anymore.
Don't mind me.
Don't want to be
just
policed
dying.
and policed by a bunch of casuals. And I think that it's happened for long enough and enough people have been
This is real firepower. This is real firepower.
they're tired of admitting that they had some sort of advantage that is now
You're ready for
like a 23-year-old guy
someone.
advantages of people that are not him because of something that happened over 2 lifetimes
Just
ago
what
for
we
him.
need.
That's it. And so yeah, I've got to say, I can respect Gavin Newsom for coming on a show and right. And I think this is
Enjoy the amplifier.
and it's really not any more complicated than that. Here we go.
So like, you run right now should come out and be like, you know what? The young man who's about to win the state championship in the long jump in female sports. That shouldn't happen. You as the governor should step out and say no.
No, and I appreciate it.
But like, would you do something like that? Would you say no men in female sports?
Well, I think it's an issue of fairness. I completely agree with you on that. So that's easy to call out, the unfairness. There's also a humility and grace that these poor people are more likely to commit suicide and anxiety, depression. And the way that people talk down to them is all hard. So both things I can hold in my hand. How can we address this issue with the kind of decency that I think is inherent in you, but not always expressed?
It's like you right now should come out
Yeah, just say it.
and be like, you know what?
This is on here. Yeah, just say it. Like, it's so simple. It's so easy. Just say that it's an emotional thing. Like, and it's right that the way that people get treated is unfair. It is. But I think that one of the reasons why is because you have rules like this and it radicalizes people against you. I mean, that's the is that, like, this is real firepower! This is real firepower! They get mad and now they don't. That's where I think happens. Also, like, by the way, if you just look at the general population of the world, look at how they dispatch you like that. I feel like that's actually extremely good. People that it's good. And this is real firepower! Whether you agree with that or not, relay deployed. What matters is to whether
The ban of the Valar is one of the most important concepts in the Second Age of Middle-earth. Humans were strictly forbidden to travel to the Undying Lands, and when they did, it had seismic consequences. Hi everyone, this is welcome to on this channel we cover the Lord of the Rings, Song of Ice and Fire. If you love in-depth discussion of great fantasy and science fiction, one of the most important plot points in the Second Age of Middle-earth, one that had implications for the future of the entire planet, is the ban of the Valar. The Númenóreans were banned from sailing west from their homeland far enough that they could no longer see its coasts. A ban specifically designed to prevent humans from ever going to Valinor. The nature of humanity being what it is meant that people wanted what they were not allowed to have. So in time, the ban was broken, and humans thought that they were right to do so. But let's go back to why the ban was there in the first place. As you'd expect, Tolkien goes quite deep on this. It's not just a ban for the sake of it.
I got a plan.
None of this was really an issue in the First Age. Humans existed in Middle-earth, the second born of the children of Ilúvatar, but many of them were under Morgoth's control, and almost none of them ever travelled to the western edge of the
30 seconds before
and
you
its
attack.
reach, Valinor was shut to elves too. The Noldorin rebellion had led to a firm response from the Horde. But after the War of Wrath at the end of the First Age, the world changed, literally. Some of the humans had distinguished themselves in the First Age, the three tribes of the Edain, and the Valar rewarded them with the new island continent off the west coast of Middle-earth as a homeland. They were also given slightly longer lifespans, particularly the ruling classes who descended from Elros the Half-Elf, first king of Númenor, who had chosen a human life, but had not just elf but also Maya ancestry. The Noldorin elves were forgiven by the Valar, and the way was left open for them to return to Valinor, and for other elves to go there for the first time. We see that they do this through the Second and Third Ages, a slow drip, drip, drip of migration westwards. This wasn't a secret, it was well known. All elves were not only welcome in the Undying Lands, but summoned there. Fading, the sea longing and other factors are all involved here, but for now the point is that the elves were allowed there, but the Númenóreans, and everyone else other than the elves, were not. In fact, the Númenóreans were specifically banned. They were given only one instruction, not to sail westward so far as to be out of sight of Númenor, which must have been quite hard for the Númenóreans because they were a great seafaring nation. They loved to travel far afield and discover new lands, and the Undying Lands were just there. They were so close, we're told in the Silmarillion, that at times when all the air was clear and the sun was in the east, they would look out and descry far off in the west a city, white shining on a distant shore, with a great harbour and a tower. For in those days the Númenóreans were far-sighted. Yet, even so, it was only the keenest eyes among them that could see this vision, from the Meneltar, maybe, or from some tall ship that lay off their western coast as far as it was northward. They did not dare break the ban of the Lords of the Waste. But the wise among them knew that this distant land was not indeed the blessed realm of Valinor, it was Avalone, the haven of the Elven from Erisea, easternmost of the Undying Lands. So Valinor was almost within eyesight, but they weren't allowed to go there. Despite this, the elves were allowed to go from whole Erisea to them and back. Thence at times the firstborn would still come sailing to Numenor in oarless boats, as white birds fly off in sunset. And they brought to Numenor many gifts, birds of song, fragrant flowers and herbs of great virtue, and a seedling they brought of Celeborn, the great tree that grew in the midst of Erisea, and the tree grew and blossomed in the courts of the king and his queens. Nimrod was named, and flowered in the evening, and with the shadows of the night it filled with its fragrance. Valinor was so close the Numenorians could almost see it, and elves came from it, treasures and things of beauty. It was clearly an amazing place, and yet the Numenorians were not allowed to go there, or even sail close by. The story of Numenor over 3.5 millennia is a story of the rise and fall of a great civilization. A fall that was fueled by a growing jealousy or a sense of righteous indignation, which from a purely human perspective seems understandable. Even more fundamental than access to Valinor itself, humans were painfully aware that they grew old and died, while the elves lived on unchanging. So, from a very human perspective, it's easy to see why the ban on humans travelling to Valinor must have felt unfair. Why should elves get eternal life and get to live in the Undying Lands, while humans grow old and die? They're denied access to the waters of Valinor. Part of this human discontent does seem to have been built on a misunderstanding. The Undying Lands, simply being there does not grant you eternal life. It's the land itself that is undying, unchanging, not the residents, automatically anyway. But this brings us to the heart of Tolkien's theological musings on this point, and in World, the Valar's reason for preventing humans from going to Valinor. There's a fundamental difference between the nature of humans and the nature of elves. Elves are tied to earth, body and soul, like the Valar and Maiar are actually. They are tied to it until the end of time. When an elf dies, their spirit goes to the halls of Mandos for a time, then is re-embodied and returned to a man. This tends to happen off-page. We don't see it, but Tolkien does give us a concrete example. Glorfindel died heroically in the First Age, went to the halls of Mandos, was re-embodied in Valinor, and then sent back to Middle-earth in the Second Age. This was not what happened with humans. When they died, they died. Their spirits stopping off perhaps in the halls of Mandos, but ultimately heading on somewhere else. The implication being somewhere good. Only Mandos and Manwë himself knew where. It was known as the Doom of Men, or cheerily, the Gift of Iluvatar. You see, to Valar, mortal death was a gift. Humans weren't trapped in Arda like them or elves. Death freed them. Which sounds lovely, though obviously over time most humans took to seeing death as not a gift, but just death. And so to the Valar, the two sets of the children of Iluvatar, elves and humans, had different environmental needs. Immortal elves needed permanence, a slow pace of life, beauty and depth and subtlety and nuance, all the things that Valinor offered. Humans, however, were like a flame that burned bright and quick. They matched a world of change, birth and death and renewal and impermanence. Seasons changing, kingdoms rising and falling, that kind of thing. In other words, Middle-earth. They simply were not right for Valinor at a deep level. The Valar tried to explain this to the Numenorians, as we read in the Silmarillion. Were you so to voyage that escaping all deceits and snares you came indeed to Aman, the blessed realm, little would it profit you, for it is not the land of Manwë that makes its people deathless, but the deathless that dwell therein have hallowed the land, and there you would but wither and grow weary the sooner. as moths in a light too strong and steadfast. So humans in Valinor would grow
battle
weary
starts in
and
5,
die early, much
4,
like, in their own
3,
way, elves
2,
grow weary
1.
eventually in Middle-earth and long
All you need to
ahead
do
to
is
Valinor.
capture the mission area.
Both peoples
Got it?
don't work well in the long term in an environment that wasn't made for them. Tolkien clarified this a bit more in an essay called A Man and Mortal Men. But in a man, he says, such a creature, a mortal man, would be a fleeting thing, the most swift passing of all beasts, for his whole life would last a little more than 1/2 year. And while all other living creatures would seem to him harder to change, to remain steadfast in life and joy with hope of endless years undimmed, he would rise and pass, even as upon earth the grass may rise in spring and wither ere. To be clear, Tolkien doesn't mean that a human's life would necessarily be shorter, but they would experience it as such, surrounded as they would be by such eternity. Valinor was made for the immortals. Middle-earth was made for the humans. As for the ban being applied specifically to the Númenóreans, well, there was a logic to that too by the Valar. The Númenóreans had been granted a longer life than other humans, but this made the need for them not to go to Valinor all the more important. The Valar reasoned that the Númenóreans' long life aids their achievements in art and wisdom, but breeds a possessive to these things, and desire awaits for more time for their enjoyment. Foreseeing this in part, the gods laid a ban on Númenóreans from the beginning. They must never sail to Eressëa, nor westward out of sight of their own land. In all other directions they could go as they would, but they must not set foot on immortal lands, and so become enamoured of an immortality within the world which was against their law. The specific doom or gift of Ilúvatar, God, and which their nature could not in fact enjoy. But the further the Númenóreans withdrew from the company of elves and the worship of Eru, the less they understood this or agreed with it, and the more they wanted what they thought they had been maliciously denied, eternal life. And this is where Sauron lay. He saw the opportunity to destroy the Númenóreans by turning the Valar. All he needed to do was to stoke up the fire of this resentment and suggest that the Valar had been hiding some immortality in Valinor. That's why they were banned from Valinor. All they needed to do was build a big enough navy to go over there and take it. The Valar's protestation and pleadings were as nothing to the Númenóreans' closed ears. The doom of Númenor became inevitable. Now, having explained that there were very good reasons for the ban of the Valar, we should probably also acknowledge at this point that yes, there were some exceptions. Famously, at the end of the Lord of the Rings, the three ring-bearers, Frodo, Bilbo, and later Sam, were all allowed to travel to Valinor, and even Gimli went there with Legolas at the apparent invitation of Galadriel. Do these exceptions prove anything? Well, I tend to the view that they do. They show that this ban was not done out of spite or rigid dogma. The Valar knew that the Undying Lands were a blessing, but also perhaps a curse for those who stayed but were not suited to them. And so, although a general rule of exclusion was needed, exceptions were granted where grace demanded it, and when it actually probably wouldn't harm the person involved. Bilbo, Sam and Gimli were near the end of their natural lives anyway when they were allowed access. To see the Undying Lands was a last gift for their twilight years in recognition for their selfless service. They probably all died there
30
sometime
seconds
later
before you
at
attack.
perfect peace.
Get ready.
As for Frodo, the last ring-bearer, well, there is no doubt that the ring will have stretched his timeline, so the negative impacts of Valinor may well have been less of an issue. And given the physical and spiritual wounds that he suffered in Middle-earth, the healing he got there might mean that it is actually a better place for him. So, why were humans banned from
The battle
Valinor?
starts in 5.
Whatever the Númenóreans
4,
thought, it
3,
wasn't a malicious
2,
plot by the Valar
1.
to withhold immortality.
All you need to do is
The
capture the
Undying
mission area.
Lands did
Got
not
it?
grant immortality. It was simply because Valinor was not designed for mortal humans. If they went there, they would wither and die, like moths in a light too strong and steadfast. The ban of the Valar is a mercy, not a punishment. If you'd like to see more videos on the world of J.R.R. Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings, please click on the link to the playlist on the left. Or if you'd like to support this channel, Thank you. There's a link to my Patreon page on the right of this. Thanks for watching. That's all for this time. See you again soon. Who is Círdan? He appears right at the end of The Lord of the Rings to usher the ring bearers to the Undying Lands aboard the White Ship. But his legacy and influence can be felt throughout the story and throughout the history of the elves in Middle-earth. So, who is Círdan? Hi everyone, this is Robert. Welcome to In Deep Deep. If you like theories, background, history and lore about The Lord of the Rings, A Song of Ice and Fire and The Witcher, then you've come to the right place. Welcome. It's easy to think of all elves as being impossibly old and wise, and of course they are, but there are some among them who even the elves consider old and wise. And in Middle-earth, chief of those is Círdan. Círdan was born in the name Morgoth in Middle-earth way back even before the Noldor and the Vanyar elves went to Valinor, the sons of Valinor. For context, this places him as much, much older than even, say, Galadriel, and thousands more years older than Elrond. His age by the time of The Lord of the Rings can be seen by the fact that he, very rarely for an elf, appears old and even has a long beard. Most elves seem ageless and beardless, but not Círdan. His hair is grey and his beard red. When he was much younger than he was among those first elves that the Valar invited westwards to live with them in the Undying Lands. Círdan was one of the most keen. In fact, we're told that going to Valinor was his greatest desire. Remember that, because that is a really important point Tolkien gets in there about Círdan. His greatest desire was to go to and experience the light of the Undying Lands. Not all of Círdan's people, the Teleri, shared this desire. In fact, many of them stopped en route and settled instead in the lands they found along the way. Nevertheless, Círdan and some others pressed on, and he reached the far western shore of Middle-earth and headed east. But then news came that Elwë, king of the Teleri, Círdan and the Teleri with him loyally went back to look for him, meaning that they literally missed the boat or island, taking the other elves, the Vanyar and the Noldor, across to Valinor. This must have been very frustrating for Círdan, given that it was his greatest desire to go there, but he did his duty anyway, even if he didn't find Elwë at that point. And while he was waiting for the island to return and take the Teleri across, if this is new to you, by the way, yes, the Valar really did transport the elves across to the Undying Lands on an island. Círdan took to building ships, lots of ships. This is how he got his name, Círdan, which literally means just shipwright. And he kept on searching for his king. Most of the Teleri had given up by this point. Elwë had been gone a long time, but out of love and obedience, he kept on looking. And tragically, when he returned from another long search, he discovered that he had missed the second opportunity to go to Valinor. His people who had stayed on the shore and not looked for their king had gone without him. He was distraught and thought of getting into one of his ships and giving chase, but we're told that the Valar spoke to him in his heart and told him no. His ship would not be able to endure that voyage, nor would any other ship for many an age. But one day, he would build a ship that would be able to make the journey, and the story of that ship would be sung for long ages. Círdan accepted this fate and was given a vision of a ship. We'll come back to that ship in a minute. Because Círdan then, resigned to his fate, ruled over the Teleri left in Middle-earth who had not travelled to Valinor out of love for their missing Lord Elwë. These people became known as the Falathrim, and for a long time lived a peaceful life on the western shore of Middle-earth, building ships, diving for pearls and so on. It was not to last forever though. Morgoth's return to Middle-earth, then the arrival of the Noldor led to strife throughout the First Age, and the Falathrim were almost all destroyed. Círdan and his people fought bravely, coming to the rescue of their brethren with stealth attacks from the sea on more than one occasion, but Morgoth's army advance was relentless. When his realm and home of the Falas fell, Círdan escaped to set up a new base on the Isle of Balar, managing to smuggle out with him a young Gil-galad, the future High King, and the two of them were at the heart of much of the resistance going forward. Although by then, the wise realised that the only hope of actually stopping Morgoth was if the Valar themselves intervened. Thingol, Círdan's king, previously known as Elwë, commissioned Círdan to build 7 ships to sail west, but they all faltered and failed. Then, finally, after becoming friends with Eärendil, he worked with him on another ship, and not just any ship, but the ship he had been shown in his vision by the Valar all that time ago. A ship that was capable of enduring the voyage to Valinor. We're not told if Círdan hoped to sail in that boat with Eärendil. He surely must have at least thought about it, but events conspired once more to prevent that from happening. Eärendil set off in the ship Vingalot, seeking the help of the Valar when Círdan was elsewhere. It was at this point, after Eärendil's successful plea to the Valar, that Círdan was granted, we're told, foresight surpassing that of any of the elves. Perhaps this was an honour in recognition of his role and fortitude, or perhaps it was foresight on the part of the Valar themselves. Círdan's wisdom would be needed in Middle-earth. Again, after the War of Roth and defeat of Morgoth, the opportunity was there for elves to travel to Valinor, but this time Círdan decided to stay back because of duty. He hadn't lost his desire to go, but he was wiser now and knew the role he had to play. The world was reshaped, but again Círdan set up hope on the new westernmost shore with a small group of followers to build ships and gaze westwards with longing. He established the Grey Havens, the start of the Straight Path. The world had been changed, and no longer could people hope to simply sail west and reach Valinor. They must go by the Straight Path now from the Grey Havens. All through the Second and Third Ages, 6,500 years, elves drifted there in ones or twos or larger groups. Círdan made ships for them all, and they sailed west to Valinor. This may not be the most exciting or dynamic part of Círdan's story, but it may be the most important. The elf whose greatest desire was to go to Valinor himself, not doing so, but instead making sure that every other elf can go if they wish, personally, by hand, ship by ship. Not that Círdan just sat by the seashore and ignored what was going on in the rest of Middle-earth all that time. On the contrary, he intervened in significant moments and with significant results, as you would expect from someone so far-sighted. For example, it was he who pioneered contact with the faithful Númenóreans in the Second Age, mentoring Aldarion, the eponymous mariner from The Mariner's Wife, the only full-length story Tolkien ever wrote about Númenor. He taught the Númenóreans to build great seafaring ships and seaside architecture, and although Númenor's doom was inevitable, they played an important role in helping save Middle-earth in the War of the Elves and Sauron. When the mysterious Anatar wandered Middle-earth, trying to entice people into accepting his gifts, Círdan was one of those who counselled against it. His advice was, of course, ignored, but when Sauron revealed himself and invaded Eriador, Sauron did not dare attack Círdan at the Grey Havens, we're told, because he had the support of the Númenóreans. Support that Círdan the Farsighted had engendered 1,000 years earlier by befriending Albarion. Círdan joined wars when he needed to as well. He was a part of the last alliance of elves and men that faced down Sauron at the end of the Second Age, and at the end of that war, it wasn't just Elrond that urged...
Be wary. No timeline exists where Magneto yields.
Round one, go!
Perhaps we should give these humans good reason to hate and fear us after all.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Welcome to the Dark Force dimension.
It's my sworn duty to protect travelers in the night.
Relay deployed. It ain't cheap.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wherever they are.
Someone scratch my back. Call me a raccoon. We're gonna have a problem.
You need to stop
welcome.
I
You
feel
stopped them in
like
their
myself
tracks.
again.
I disappeared.
You are under my protection.
Whoever they are, they don't look friendly.
They shall not escape our wrath now. That should be sufficient.
Just embrace the light.
I'll patch you up.
Fire mode. I am ready to put on a show. The world. You owe me one. We better test this out. My time to There's still a chance to stop them.
Mutants always rise again.
Better stop that vehicle. They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
Here they are.
Much better.
Hey, Petey! Enjoy the amplifier! Don't mind me. I'm just dying.
You are under my protection.
You're welcome.
Rebirth, your attacks are futile.
They made it halfway. Stop them.
We will preserve the weapon.
Better stop that vehicle.
Much better.
There's still a chance to stop them.
It's clobbering time! It's clobbering time!
Double KO.
My power cannot be
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
much better.
Better stop that vehicle.
Feeling better already.
It's now or never.
It's
Stop
a
them.
mutant's greatest gift.
I am ready to put on a show. Don't give them another inch. Or else.
Enjoy the amplifier!
Never had a chance.
You need not fear.
Wait, shield?
Farewell.
I'll patch you up.
Co-op time.
Those guys are about to shoot at us.
The cosmos heals you. I require some aid.
It's clobbering!
I'll patch you up.
I feel better already.
Quill,
The cosmos
one.
heals you.
I can't believe it.
He stopped them in their tracks.
So cold.
Souls unite. I'll patch you up.
Down to 30 seconds.
Legend will live on. Almost out of time. I will make sure. Life I feel better already. The cosmos heals you.
Us against the world.
Born again!
We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
It's clobbering time!
Heals you.
The current score is 0-3. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on. You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Open your eyes.
Be wary. No timeline exists where Magneto yields.
Round 2, go!
Alas, we can no longer hide from the dangers that lie beyond our shores.
Armor packs here. Pay up.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
It will take more than light to solve our problems.
You're underestimating my light. That's okay. Happens all the time.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Help get that vehicle to its destination.
I feel like myself again.
You never had a chance.
Us against the world!
Hey, Dee! Enjoy the amplifier!
You're halfway there. Keep going!
Follow the enemy!
My power cannot be quelled.
Get that vehicle moving again!
I feel like myself again. It seems we have company. It's clobbering time! Rebirth is a mutant's greatest gift. feel like myself again.
Down to 30 seconds.
Time is running out, I think.
Fear Magneto!
I am ready to put on a show!
The final 10 seconds.
Leave them to Khonshu.
Final score 0-3. Well, you can't expect to win them all. The right heroes could make all the difference.
Be wary. No timeline exists where Magneto yields.
Round 1.
For so long, I fought for mutant kind's future. Our time has finally arrived.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
It will take more than light to solve our problems.
You're underestimating my light. That's okay. Happens all the time.
These waves will not break. Time to train.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
You surface dwellers can't resist destroying yourself.
It seems we have company.
That one hurts.
I feel like myself again. Our enemy has been spotted.
Just embrace the levels. Sorry, no escaping us now.
That tree was real? Help him from the shadow.
Look up behind you.
I feel like myself again.
Here they are. These could be treacherous territory.
I'm hurt.
You need help here. Watch it, Dale.
I suck.
shall not be harmed. You are welcome.
Help! Turn around, quick!
I feel like myself again.
A nice deep freeze.
This is real fire!
Co-op time.
Fear Magneto! A fatal attraction. You are under my protection.
I can be reckless now.
Hell unleashed!
Only 60 seconds left.
Here they are.
I'm opening a portal.
I don't have to.
A shortcut through space.
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
I am strengthened for battle.
Do your best, son. That one hurts.
Oh, this is gonna hurt. This is real firepower!
Do your by the eye of Agamotto.
Stop that vehicle. There's still a chance to stop them.
I feel like myself again.
So cold. Be strong together. A beam of light. Disappear!
You are under my protection.
I can be reckless now.
I'm doing this my way. Insignificant gnats.
Unleash your full fury here.
There they are.
We can do
Stop
untold
them in their
damage.
tracks.
Ah, much better.
Only 60 seconds left.
This is
Penny! It should have been me.
It seems Krakoa.
Magneto!
Down to 30 seconds. Double KO.
Your attacks are futile. We must persevere. I feel like myself again. A mystic doorway.
By the eye of Agamotto.
unleashed!
Behold
We'll have to
the
keep fighting until we have a winner.
Rebirth is a mutant's
They
great.
hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
You shall not be harmed. My power cannot be quelled.
Only 60 seconds left. You must get to safety.
I feel like myself.
Now or never! Stop them! Just to boost the light! Pull up time! My leg
This is real firepower!
Look out behind you! Don't give them another inch! Or else! A nice deep freeze. Final 10 seconds! Hell unleashed!
Our enemy has been spotted.
By the eye of
Last fighting until
Agamotto!
you are winner.
On your toes. Here we come.
The current score is 0-3. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
Be wary. No timeline exists where Magneto yields.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one. Round 2.
Charles dreamed of a safe haven for all mutants. At last, I have made it a reality.
Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
The actual Magneto. Wow.
Should I know who you are?
No, but you should know magnetism doesn't work on super cooled materials. Guess what I can do?
Be impertinent, it seems.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
It seems extinction is on the agenda once again. How predictable.
We've got trouble. Need some help. Anyone willing to help?
You need not fear.
I have a few, but
Much better.
Feel the wrath of the strongest! This is real!
Rebirth is a mutant's greatest gift.
keep an eye on this spot.
I feel like myself again.
Behind you.
By the eye of Agamotto! Beholds the god of thunder!
Secure this location at once.
Us against the world!
Fear Magneto! Much better. Amidst its order, it must be strange on your smile.
A nice deep freeze. Come on, let me heal you.
Feel the wrath of the goddess!
Only 60 seconds left.
Look out!
My power cannot be quelled.
Dream Castle, reporting for duty.
A little help, please.
Down to 30 seconds.
I feel like myself again.
Lead them to conscience!
Behold the God of Thunder!
They shall not escape our
You'll
wrath.
have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
By the eye of Agamotto!
A nice
You
deep
cannot
freeze.
hurt me.
It's the grand finale. Us against the world.
Feel the wrath of the goddess!
Final score 0-3. Well, you can't expect to win them all.